Over the last 18 months, I've been building the world's first agency-grade AI-powered email marketing system to let e-com brands create and send high-converting emails in-house. The system is called Kicksend, and in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how any brand can leverage it to drive the same level of revenue from Klaviyo that's historically been reserved for 8- and 9-figure brands. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Elliot Kovac, founder of Dispatch, one of the top Klaviyo agency partners in North America. Over the last 4 years at Dispatch, our team has sent over 2 billion emails, run thousands of A/B tests, and ultimately driven over $100 million in revenue for some of the fastest growing e-commerce brands in the world. Our full retainer clients pay us between $5,000 and $12,000 a month to manage their entire Klaviyo account and trust us with hitting their revenue KPIs every single month. We have trained Kicksend on our exact agency strategies and processes that we've refined over the past 4 years of learning exactly what works and what doesn't to drive revenue from e-com email for brands across every niche you can think of. All right, so before I show you exactly how the system and the platform looks, let me explain what I mean by the words agency grade, because those two words are ultimately what are giving the brands currently using Kicksend up to a 50 times ROI on the monthly cost. So what does a standard email marketing agency that charges a few $1,000s per month actually do? So they plan what emails to send for their clients every month. Ideally, that's using proven strategies that drive engagement and revenue. They write high converting copy for all of your emails. They design engaging templates for all of your emails. They schedule all the emails in Klaviyo. They report on the results. And then the really good agencies constantly optimize emails to drive more revenue based on those reporting insights. And that should be across everything from segmentation to strategy to deliverability. So right off the bat, Kicksend does all of this for you. And it's trained on what actually works to drive revenue from email. And it does all of this for just $100 a month. So for brands that are currently working with an agency, I think that you will be shocked at the quality of the emails that Kicksend generates for your brand in our free trial. And for brands who are currently managing Klaviyo in-house, the average brand that we take on at Dispatch who previously was managing things in-house sees a 55% revenue increase from email within 30 days of us getting started. And that's not because our designs or our copy are infinitely better than theirs were. It's because there are over 100 micro decisions that go into creating every single email. And there are just objectively decisions that can be made that will result in higher or lower click-through rates, and in turn, revenue. Kicksend gives you a system that automates every part of your email marketing workflow, with every automated decision that's being made backed by real expertise that is a result of the thousands of A/B tests that we've run. To summarize it neatly, it immediately turns whoever is running your email marketing in-house into an expert email marketer. And on the efficiency side, Kicksend is an all-in-one platform that is purpose-built for e-commerce email marketing. That means no more using ChatGPT for copy, no more Canva or Figma for design, no more slicing up images in those platforms and uploading them to Klaviyo. Every part of the email marketing process is done for you end to end. All right, so let me show you exactly how the system works. So I'm going to include the link to sign up for Kicksend for our 100% free trial in the description of this video. And this is what you will see, which is our simple registration page. After you complete this page and actually sign up, you're going to be taken through our really simple onboarding flow. So basically, you're going to put in your URL, you're going to confirm your basic brand guidelines, like your fonts that you use, your colors that you use. And then you're going to be prompted to complete our Shopify integration and our Klaviyo integration. So as soon as you complete our Shopify integration, we are going to sync all of your product information that exists inside of Shopify into Kicksend so that Kicksend can immediately learn about all of the products you sell. And then finally, you're going to be prompted to complete your Klaviyo integration. It's just one click. And essentially what this does is it gives Kicksend access to all of your previous campaign performance so that Kicksend can optimize campaigns it's planning for you based on top performing campaigns from the past. And then the second part of that integration is that it allows us to easily schedule campaigns directly from Kicksend in Klaviyo in one click. And then finally, you're not going to be prompted to complete our Claude integration through the onboarding. But if you are a brand that uses Claude as kind of your HQ home base for all of your AI ops within your business and marketing, we built out our Claude integration so that you could directly plan your campaigns and trigger the calendar event creation, which I'll show you in a second, as well as trigger designs being created directly from Claude. So if you're not heavily using Claude, then this won't be super beneficial for you. But if you are actively using Claude, it's basically going to combine all of the context from Claude with all of the context that we have in Kicksend on how to actually build out the campaigns, which I'll show you in a second, so that you're basically getting the best of both worlds, with Claude acting as like your in-house marketing manager and Kicksend acting as your outsourced email creation expert. So as soon as you complete the Shopify integration in the image library, you're going to see all of your product and collection images are immediately brought into your image library. And as you'll see in a minute, this is hugely important for what Kicksend is going to be able to do on the email design side. You can also create or edit any images directly inside of Kicksend. And this basically gives you access to Nano Banana Pro, ChatGPT image generation. We are always selecting the best models as they come out for use in the platform. And then finally, we have our upload section. So you can upload a folder, a zip file of all of your images. And like you will see in our design generation, Kicksend generates all hero images using AI. But if you want to be using any of your own assets, you can easily just upload them here. So next up is the brand profile section. So you're going to complete a bit of this during the onboarding flow, but you definitely want to go through this in detail because this is going going to serve as the initial context layer to just make sure that all of the information about your brand is correct so that the emails that are generated are completely on brand. So we have our overview section, and as you're going to see when you sign up, all of this is auto-generated based on just writing in your URL during the onboarding flow. So we are automatically pulling in just the overview, mission statement of the brand, the industry, the target audience, and product categories. Any of this can be manipulated and changed however you want in order to just make sure that this is completely aligned with who the brand is and who they're serving. Next up is design guidelines, and you might hear me repeat this a few times over the next couple of minutes, but we have built in every part of our high-performing agency onboarding process into our onboarding process of Kicksend in order to produce the same quality of results. First up, we have brand colors. Kicksend is going to pull it to the best of its ability from your URL, but you just want to fill this out exactly as it appears in your brand guidelines so that Kicksend can generate the best possible emails for you. So for the brand we're looking at right now, Castaway Nantucket, we can see right here, these are their primary colors that we've input, and this is basically the preview of what this is going to look like. So if I changed over like my primary color right over here, you would see the button change, and we just have the simple preview available for that purpose. When it comes to typography, we have all of the Google fonts loaded in here. You can also upload your own custom fonts. So over here, you can see that Saturday Script is one of the custom fonts for Castaway. As soon as it is added, you can basically select where you want to use that. If you want to use it as the button font, subtitle, title font, etc. And you can see just how this is applied in the preview right here. Now, one important thing that I'm going to note is this is not the same as how custom fonts work in Klaviyo for one simple reason. So when you use custom fonts in Klaviyo, you are using that inside of the HTML editor, and the email gets sent as an HTML email. What that means, and maybe you've seen this yourself, is that different inboxes can render different fonts. So as an example, Gmail can't render most custom fonts, which is why you have to set up a fallback font. And that is what most of your customers and your subscribers end up seeing in their inbox. They end up seeing like a fallback font like Arial or Times New Roman instead of your actual custom font. And that's because the email is sent in HTML. Now, what all good agencies do is they design emails in a platform like Figma or Photoshop or Canva, and then they slice up those emails into image slices and import them into the platform so that every email renders the exact same way it looks in Figma in every single one of your subscribers' inboxes. And part of why that's important for brands that care about your branding is that your custom fonts are going to be displayed in every inbox. So after fonts, we have our button style. You can select your radius super easily here. And then we have our headers and footers. So you can set up as many headers and footers as you want. And Kicksend essentially, when it designs your emails, is going to use one of the variants. So it's just as easy as like clicking new header over here. You'll have your second one. And maybe in this one, we want to set the background color to be black as an example. And then we want the text to be white. And then just like that, we have our second header, which can now be used. We have our navigation link, so we can easily put our links into here. We have our alignment styles, and this is very similar to what you'd see in Klaviyo or any other editor. And then on the footer side, we have all of our footer links. So we have our social media, we have our copyright, we have our address, we have our unsubscribe that automatically uses Klaviyo's autofill. So as soon as we're done, we would just click save changes over here, and all of our changes will be applied for our upcoming design generations. So when it comes to voice and tone, essentially we are basically auto-generating your brand's USPs, your unique selling points. This is very, very important for when it comes to actually writing copy that is going to drive conversions and drive revenue, and continuously just like naturally embed what makes your brand valuable and what sets you apart from your competition in our copywriting. So you can easily adjust or enter new ones or delete ones however you'd want here. Super easy editing. And then we have our brand voice example. So we're pulling like product copy descriptions from your website. And then you have email copy here. So you can easily just add in examples of previous email copy that you've written in order to get Kicksend's initial generations to just be as similar to what you're used to as possible. And then we have our research section. So the same way any great agency is going to learn as much as they possibly can about your brand in order to speak to each of your personas properly, in order to just make sure that everything is actually on brand and high converting. We create a research report for you with the click of one button that takes around 3 hours to generate. It's around 20 pages of actual copy. And basically what we are going through here is like a deep understanding of the brand and its origin, why it was created. We're looking at all of the core offerings to really understand all of the products, what are the benefits of those products, all of your unique selling points and your structural differentiation, your exact market positioning and competitive landscape, so we understand how to talk about your products in a way that actually resonates with your subscribers. Deep research into your customer voice and sentiment. So this is being pulled from Reddit, social, other reviews on different websites. We're pulling in a lot of very specific reviews from your customers that can be applied for strategy purposes, but also for actually pulling reviews into emails as well. Social proof and testimonials vault. We have our customer archetype, so we know exactly who we're talking to, your different personas, and so much more. So that's a brand profile section, and you definitely just want to make sure that that is dialed in order to create emails that are are as good as possible. So now we get to the fun part, the calendar section, which is where we're actually going to create and send our emails. So Kicksend has been trained on our exact campaign calendar strategy frameworks because we have learned a ton over the years in terms of creating a full calendar that is going to drive maximum engagement and revenue over the course of an entire month. So if your brand is currently sending fewer than 2 to 3 emails a week and is planning things like 1 week at a time, it's just not an ideal process in terms of generating the best results. But until Kicksend, I can understand why that would have been too time consuming. And let me show you exactly how efficient this becomes with Kicksend. So I'm just gonna click the add emails button over here, and we can create emails for any time period that we want. But like I said, it's usually the best practice to create 1 month at a time. So I'm just gonna click June 1 to June 30 over here. We have scheduling preferences. So I'm gonna go with 3 per week. You can choose when you prefer to send emails on, which days of the week, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday as an example, or you can just remove this and let Kicksend plan what is actually going to be best for your brand and for the overall strategy. So I'm gonna click next. And then basically we have our 4 questions here that we ask our clients at Dispatch every single month. So instead of just creating a random calendar for you that doesn't actually like apply to what's going on with your brand, what any good agency is going to do is ask you these questions. Number 1, are there any new product launches coming up next month? If there are, we can simply just click yes, black, t-shirt dropping June 10, let's say. Are there any sales planned for this time period? We can say, yes, there's a 20% off site-wide sale planned for June 25. That will be 3 days long. And the last question here is, do you have specific products or collections that you want to feature? So this is the first instance where you'll actually see like the Shopify integration come into play in an interactive way, where we can just potentially say like, yeah, the 4th of July products, we definitely want to have a heavy focus on in June. Or we could just say nothing. And then finally, are there any other specific instructions that you want to provide in order for us to put the calendar together? So for some brands, this might mean that there is like a big influencer collaboration happening next month. For some brands, this could mean there's a big content push, or they're launching an affiliate program, or anything that's happening on the brand-wide calendar you would want to let your email agency know about, and you would want to let Kicksend know about, so that it can put together a perfectly on-brand calendar for the period. And just to be clear, because one of the big problems that Kicksend solves for a lot of brands is actually not knowing what to talk about and what to consistently send campaigns about that can engage and drive revenue when there's nothing big at the brand happening, like a new product launch or like a promotion. You can simply click no to all of these, and Kicksend will put together a conversion optimized calendar for you. So I'm gonna click generate emails right now, and it's gonna take up to 3 minutes to create. And just so you understand what's going on behind the scenes, what's happening in these 3 minutes is Kicksend is taking all of the information that you've provided, all of that context into consideration, doing a massive scrape against all of the context that we have from our brand profile, and then combining that with our proven frameworks for putting together campaign calendars that are optimized to drive as much engagement and conversion as possible. And just like that, our strategy for the month is complete by Kicksend with 3 campaigns per week. So in our confirm your plan section, what you're going to see is the full strategy laid out for you for each one of these emails. So on June 2nd, Kicksend is suggesting that we send an email for the summer critter collection, and it's telling us that it suggests to feature these specific products. If we want to update this at all by removing products, adding in other products, we can easily do that through the Shopify integration. And then right below, we have the full strategy brief for the campaign, just like an agency would put together internally. So first up, you have your strategy brief. So we're talking about what the campaign hook is going to be, what the featured products are going to be, who the target audience and persona for this campaign is going to be. And then right below, we have the creative brief for the campaign, which Kicksend's copy and design agents are going to be using in order to put together the actual creative. So you can edit this brief however you want. And just like how strategy is usually approved before campaigns move over to creative at an agency, you're essentially approving the strategy and the direction of this campaign before Kicksend puts it together. And then right below, just so you can understand exactly why Kicksend is suggesting that we send this campaign in order to drive revenue, we have our strategy rationale section, which is telling you exactly why all of these decisions were made. So this is what real strategy looks like that goes into whether a campaign is going to perform or not. And one of the things that our Shopify integration also allows us to do is actually look at your brand's inventory in order to help us choose which products we're going to feature in each campaign. So as soon as everything for this campaign looks good, we can add this to calendar, and you're just going to go through the same process with each of these campaigns. And the entire process is just approving the actual brief that Kicksend has put together for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just click add all to calendar right now. And that's going to fill up my June calendar, where you can see we have between 2 and up to 5 campaigns going out every single week. And just a note on campaign calendar strategy, I had told Kicksend a minute ago that we were going to have a black t-shirt launching on the 10th. So not only did Kicksend factor that in and put the launch email in for the 10th, they built off of our frameworks of what a launch email should look like in order to drive as much engagement as possible. But it also put in a teaser email on the 9th that we can see right here saying something bold is coming. And Kicksend suggests that based off of our strategy at Dispatch, paired with the fact that it looked into the brand research, which highlighted that limited seasonal results create an if I don't grab it now, I'll miss out mentality among loyal customers. So a teaser is tapping directly into that collected psychology. And then the second example here is for our promotion that I said was launching on the 25th, the site-wide sale. So yes, we have the launch of the sale right over here, but the day before, we're also teasing that that sale is going to be starting in order to drive maximum conversions when the sale actually starts. Kicksend is suggesting that we actually drive SMS opt-ins for early access reminders from our email list. And then after the promotion starts, you ideally want to have follow-up campaigns that are reminding your customers about the sale every day. So Kicksend knows that just like a great agency, and it's picking fresh angles to actually highlight different sets of products for different reasons for each of the following days after. And one of our frameworks in terms of what drives the most revenue is you can see here, Kicksend's telling you that we have built into the system that if a sale is less than 3 days, on the final day, we absolutely want to have a last chance email that's pushing urgency. On top of that, you can see that Kicksend built campaigns around the iconic harbor pant, your summer signature piece, the Castaway summer style guide, so 3 outfits, infinite occasions. Father's Day is coming soon, the Castaway gift guide for dad. And essentially, this is exactly what an optimized campaign calendar looks like. So now that our strategy is good to go, let me show you exactly what the design generation looks like. So just as a reminder, the design, as soon as I click generate email, is being created and designed based off of everything in our brief section. So I'm just gonna hit generate email. This can take up to 3 minutes to complete. And we're going to have what is essentially a ready to send email generated right away. All right, and just like that, our entire campaign was generated. So we have our header that is pulled from the brand profile section. And then over here, we have our hero background. This is a completely AI generated image that is incorporating the exact products that are featured in the campaign. So this polo and this pair of pants are 2 of the products that are featured right over here. We have our headline copy, he won't buy it for himself. We have our subheader, that's where you come in 6 days until Father's Day, and a gift guide built for the coastal dad. And then our clean CTA above the fold to drive as many clicks as possible, shop the gift guide, which you can see already has the most appropriate link, which Kicksend has looked for, added into it. If we take a look right below, we have the curated gift set for Father's Day. So 4 pieces, 1 thoughtful gift, pick a tier or layer the whole look. These are the exact products pulled in from the Shopify integration. Kicksend automatically put these tiers in to just easily guide people to what's within their budget. So for under $100, we have the Nantucket Reds bucket hat, which is the dock day staple, faded just right, $50, pulling this from Shopify, and then a shop the hat CTA, which automatically goes directly to the product page. And for the rest of this section, you can see that Kicksend has applied the same type of format. And over here, you can see a testimonial quote that is pulled from the research section. And it's probably the most applicable quote that you could find that ties into Father's Day. Our family photo turned out picture perfect, memories made. And this is from Lindsay G on Instagram. And then we have our shipping call out right over here. So Father's Day shipping, ordered by June 16 to arrive in time. And then finally, just beat the generic gift card, a polo with his harbor, pants with his team, the kind of gift he won't quietly return. And just so you can see, there are no generic templates that are used within Kicksend. Each email is written and designed from scratch to be perfectly aligned with the strategy of that campaign. If we look at this campaign as another example, I'm just gonna click generate, and here's what Kicksend has designed. So we have a completely brand new hero image, completely customized to the strategy of the campaign once again. And then in our second section, we definitely wanna put way more emphasis on the pants. So we have done that in a strategically optimized way right over here. We even have a how to wear it section in this campaign, which is just showcasing different occasions where someone might wanna wear it, which is something that can really help drive better engagement and conversions. And because a potential pain point could be not knowing what size to buy, Kicksend has recognized that and put a block in to address that with a CTA that links to their size guide. We also have a purpose-built editor, which we built from scratch, that is by far the best editor for e-com email in the world. So you can simply edit anything like text super easily like you would anywhere else, can easily update the fonts, the colors, all of that basic stuff, or you can use our state-of-the-art chat editor, which incorporates Kicksend's trained AI in terms of copywriting and design to ask for any edits you want. Let's say I just don't like this copy and I prefer that it be more concise. I can just say, make the hero header copy maximum 3 words. And just like that, there you go, new header, gift him better, much cleaner. If I want to replace the hero image, what I can do is just click replace over here, and I can either edit this automatically. So we have the reference image right over here that is in the hero currently. And I can say something like remove the hat, and Kicksend just automatically makes that update. So we can see right here, everything in the image stays the same, but the hat has been removed over here, and I can just pull this in right now. Or I could create new images directly from scratch. So let's say I don't want this to just be the hat. What I can do is click over here, I can click replace, and then because this is the reference image, I could add in other reference images if I want to from other products, but I can just say generate image of father wearing this hat. And just like that, now I have a lifestyle image to feature instead of just the boring product one. Now, finally, when it comes to exporting the campaign, this is part of what makes it the most efficient Klaviyo campaign generation and sending process on the planet. We have our campaign name that's going to live in Klaviyo automatically generated. We have the subject line generated, the preview text generated. We have the default settings from Klaviyo automatically brought in. So the from email, the from name. And then Kicksend is also automatically generating and suggesting the ideal segments to send to maximize revenue and protect deliverability here. So for this campaign, because it's not a big promotion or a new product launch, we just want to send this to our 90-day engaged segment in order to max out both those results. And Kicksend's also recommending that we exclude our segment of anyone who has 4+ soft bounces. So a little technical, but this really helps with deliverability and something that most brands would not be doing otherwise. We have our send date, our scheduled time, and then literally it's as simple as clicking one button to export this campaign, and it appears scheduled in Klaviyo. I'm just gonna click export right here, and just like that, I can click the opening Klaviyo button right here, and what I'm gonna see is the scheduled campaign right over here, exactly as it looked in Kicksend. So I can click into it right here, and then if we just click on the preview, you can see this looks exactly the same as it looked in Kicksend, and what we've done is we've sliced it all up into image slices the same way an agency would do for you. We've linked everything exactly where it's supposed to go, and we've even added alt text that this is completely deliverability optimized. And if this wasn't enough, what Kicksend is also doing in the background is it's analyzing every email based on performance and optimizing future email generations based on the outliers that are driving the most conversion. So unlike when you're creating an email in Canva and Figma and importing image slices, Klaviyo doesn't even know what's in those image slices when you're sending them. Because every email from start to finish is being created in the Kicksend platform, we have the ability to analyze every single variable that's going into that campaign to then understand why it converted well or why it didn't convert well. So that's the high level of the platform right now. In April, the aggregate amount of revenue that was generated from brands that are using Kicksend topped $100,000 in campaign revenue and is growing every single day. Our roadmap for the product over the next couple of months is absolutely insane. And we're just on a mission to basically automate everything that a high performance agency that charges thousands of dollars a month does for e-com brands. So again, link is in the description for you to try Kicksend and see what it creates for your own brand. 100% free trial, no credit card required, and I cannot wait to see what you send.